Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Eternal Evolution video. And this is going to be my day 2 attacks of Hell Arena. And I believe my first match was with Jurassic. I decided to go Assassin versus Tank. Pretty good counter to the tanks. Energy versus Summoner. It's a good counter. And Tank versus Energy. So all three are good counters versus these teams. And you'll watch and see how it played out. That Fiona keeping the assassins very much alive, even though the tanks have the damage reduction. They are just no match for the Sin's power. And the Sins make short work of the tanks. Fiona goes down. And Wumi goes down. So that was fairly easy. Next up, we have Energy versus Summons. And this can get tricky with this Hell Arena. With the Summons having the 20% damage reduction in the beginning of the match. And sometimes you might even come across fairly developed summon teams, like in their guild tech, they will have a maxed out crit damage reduction, and that can often turn the tides. And I did choose to put res into Nord. So we'll talk about that a little bit in the next match I have. So tank versus energy. Energy cannot withstand the tank's knockdown. If you'll see, right when Panda does his first ult, they're pretty much dead. Knockdown begins. Luke's down. Janna's down. So this energy was running a Leo, and it didn't really make much of a difference. The tanks are just super strong. You can see, easy match, easy match. So that was that battle. And next we have, this was just, I don't know why it switched to that. That was just a filler team. So they're running Assassin with Fiona, typical energy team with Leo, and a res on their Ampu team. So I did match assassins on this one, and I know that my assassins were going to overpower, even though they have a double support with Maserati and Fiona. It's just not today, homie. And next up, we're going to have a summon team versus energy. As you saw in the last battle, the energy is no match for the knockdown. And I do recommend this counter if you can do it. Either use your tanks or your assassins to counter summoners. That's going to be your best bet. And the knockdown making pretty short work of Leo. And easy match. So on the energy squad, instead of resing to Janna as I did the last match, I decided to res to Nord to maximize my chance of winning. Nord's he has all that CC in his kit. When he ults, he's gonna be doing good damage. And regardless of the damage mitigation buff from the Hell Arena perk, it doesn't phase Nord. So Nord's still doing great damage. I found it to be quite more effective than the res to Jaina. So I do recommend resing to Nord if you're going to use res on your energy team. And you got to be careful because the Res and the Ampu combination can be quite powerful with that stun lock from Ampu's ult, but as you can see, it was no match for my energy team. Next we have this. He's running typical energy with Res. Okay, 2 hunters on their tank team. That's not going to be good. And he has Fiona on his Vanguard team, which does make Fiona makes the Vanguard and Assassin team super powerful, more so the Assassins. So I decided to go energy versus energy here, and they also have a res on their energy, so it could be a close one. I don't remember if I lost or won this one. Okay, it looks like okay. So Nord went down. That was a close one. I should have countered it with the tanks, or yeah, I probably should counter it with the tanks or assassins. I know this tank team is not going to be up to par because they're running the hunters. The hunters, especially those two, Arcadia and Rosarius, are pretty weak without Miranda. Now they do come back to life twice, I believe. If they're EX30, I don't. It doesn't look like theirs are EX30 either. But if you pair them with Miranda, they're gonna come back to life like 4 times. So definitely something to think about. I mean, if you're running Hunter, you must run Miranda. So as you can see, the tank team making short work of them. And that's gonna be it for that one. Next, I believe this is the Assassin versus Vanguard, and I did pair the Assassins with this because I have lost before to a Vanguard comp with Fiona. Without Fiona, the Vanguard team is not very viable in my opinion, but with Fiona, they're pretty strong. I mean, they can be viable if you have a maxed Ares, of course, but that's a lot of resources to have. And what is deadly is Barag pulls Fiona into the fray. Usually I have her in my back line safe, but Barag brings her into the battle, and luckily she didn't die early on. That could have changed the tide, but no match Assassins versus Vanguards. Without Fiona, you could run Assassin versus Vanguard all day because they are 100% stronger. So this team has got, okay, so they got a Helentis in their Assassin team. And this could be a tough match. I wasn't looking at the wins, I was just talking. So this is another well-developed Sand comp, but you can see Fiona's just belting out that invincibility, and there Fiona goes down, so that's going to turn the tide instantly without the invincibility. That's wrap. So we'll do tanks against tanks. And actually I did lose this one because I didn't pay attention that they're rezzing to Panda. And normally in PvP, that's my typical setup. I'm rezzing to Panda because that is just one of the most deadliest combinations in the game. And even though my CP is about, I think, a whole million more or so, the res combo on their team does turn the tide. And if I would have got that last Panda ult, I do believe I would have won. But with the Woomy to Woomy, and then if Woomy would have killed Res, I would have won. But my Woomy is undoubtedly stronger than this Woomy, but paired with Rez, he's just gonna keep ulting, getting his all of his life back together, and we're gonna go a lot back and forth. And I do lose this match because I didn't pay attention to them having Rez on the tank team. So you guys, critical to evaluate what the team is using and build your counter accordingly. So I'm not going to let the whole battle play out. Let me get one more good smack and we'll call it there. I did lose that battle. So this is your typical summoner team. I do believe there won't be a match for the Rez and Nord combo. And my Janna's not doing that much damage with the damage reduction that the other buff team is getting. But after 20 seconds, she'll do the damage. I've seen other comps where Janna does her damage, and I haven't figured out quite why mine's not doing it. Alrighty then. So the last match of the day. Or was that the last match? I do believe that might have been the last match. Yeah, it was going to be the last match. So thank you all for watching. I hope this helped you with your comps, and catch you on the next video.